Welcome to the Bahamas and the Big 3 Championship presented by Verizon. It's a rematch of the inaugural championship game as Trilogy takes on the three-headed monsters. Here's a look at how we got here. Trilogy, three-headed monsters. These two battled it out in 2017. They'll do it again. Hello, everyone. Brian Custer alongside Jim Jackson, Nancy Lieberman. You know what? These two teams met for it all in 2017. They met in week 2 of the regular season. Trilogy won both of those games.
Yeah, Trilogy did. I mean, and this is a different squad in regards to the makeup. I mean, 2017, they dominated with power and strength. This one a little bit more finesse, but Jarrett Jack, Isaiah Briscoe, those two just get it done.
Nancy, listen, you know how to coach and win this thing. As a coach, how do you win the championship?
Well, you have to win the championship with defense, and that's really the calling card for Gary Payton and the three-headed monsters. You know, every year, Reggie Lewis is such a, I said Reggie Lewis, Reggie Evans is such a dominant player defensively, a double-double, one of the best rebounders in the league. This is a really good team and a great rookie in Kevin Murphy.
Okay, so then if you're talking about Trilogy, you got to be talking about the Rookie of the Year, Jarrett Jack.
Again, it still doesn't sound right, rookie Jarrett Jack. That doesn't go together. But what he's been able to do, kind of like what Joe Johnson did last year when he came into the league, kind of instant offense, a spark, a guy that can make multiple plays, score at all levels. So in his last 4 games, he's averaging about 27 points, 33 last week. How do you stop him? Well, it's tough to stop guys in this league one-on-one. Only thing you can really do, Nancy, is make him less effective.
Okay, so Nancy, for the three-headed monsters, if they're going to win it, how do they win the championship game?
Well, they're going to come with defense. They have tons of physicality. They're a great rebounding team. You saw what they did to Joe Johnson. They're going to swarm you, and you're going to have Jarrett Jack shoot under duress. You just can't give him wide open shots.
Offensively, you got to contain this man, Kevin Murphy.
Who can do that? I mean, he's had 29 points in the semifinals, and he's the co-rookie of the year. He's unbelievable.
Take a look at Murph, and he gets it done in a variety of ways.
But that's what makes a player so tough to guard. When you have multiple options and ways you can score, it's tough for the team that you're playing to take you out of the game. So it's going to be interesting, the defense. We're going to see on Kevin Murphy.
Let's take a look at our rosters. They're presented by PNC Bank. All right, Jim, let's talk about your PNC overdraft protection players to watch.
Well, of course, for Trilogy, you're going to say Jarrett Jack, but also Isaiah Briscoe. But I think it's huge that James White, the mainstay of this Tri-State team, Trilogy team, I think he has to have a big game. And big game meaning some points, rebounds, and also defense.
Well, Trilogy, when they won it all, it was Rick Mahorn who was their head coach. Now they've got Steven Jackson as their head coach. He's with our John Sally.
I'm just hearing that Rick Mahorn used to be the head coach, but you're the head coach that got your team to the championship.
Now, Rick did it. Rick went undefeated. That's never been done. Rick in the category is on. I'm just trying to be a champion as a coach.
Now, you got the Rookie of the Year, which is funny to say about Jarrett Jack.
Right.
You got guys who are determined. You got literally the 4th man of the year with Briscoe, and they did it without you. But now we need 50 points before the other team gets it.
Yeah, one game. We got to this point. We fought with or without me. We was able to win. We got to come together to get this last 50 points so we can become champions. One game.
Okay, well, you know what it is to be a champion. You know what it is to be a champion.
I know what it is. There's no better feeling in the world. I need one in the Big 3, so now's the time.
Go sprinkle them good. Back to you guys.
Okay, Spider Sally, Steven Jackson, thank you. Let's take a look at the rules here of the Big 3. They are presented by Verizon. Listen, first team to 50, you win it. You got to win by 2. First team to 25, we go to the half. When you go to the free throw line, you're shooting 1 for 2. And I say it all the time, but it's true. The 4-point shot can keep you in the game. It is a difference maker. Here we go. 2021 from the Bahamas, the three-headed monsters taking on Trilogy. And it's the three-headed monsters in yellow, and it's Kevin Murphy with the rock. Rashard Lewis, the follow, and it's good, the first 2 points of the game.
And Rashard Lewis is already on this court early this morning, getting some shots up. He wanted to be ready.
Here's the co-rookie of the year being guarded by the other rookie of the year, Murphy and Jack.
Boy, it's nice to start early right here. Rashard just feels that little pump fake. He gets his footing, and then he goes over the left shoulder with the nice little rolling hook.
The foul's on Reggie Evans. Here Jarrett Jack gets the screen, pulls up, knocks down the jumper.
Again, simple play, pick and roll, so hard to guard, especially in the middle of the court because you can't bring the help defense and you don't have a weak side, in which Jarrett Jack was able to exploit, get to that free throw line and pull up for a nice 15-foot jump shot.
Here's Reggie, goes up, shot blocked.
Reggie Evans has that look. You
What's
see
that
it
look?
in movies.
What's that
look
look?
at him. Watch his face. When he goes up, he gets fouls, and he's kind of laser looking at the rookie, Kevin Murphy, like, this is where I wanted the basketball rookie.
Give it to me right here.
Yep.
You know what's interesting, too, about Reggie? Year one, it was defense and rebound, which he does. That's what he made his career of. But then he came back that second year and added an offensive component to his game, and hence, in year 4, see a nice shot that time by Jarrett Jack. He was in the discussion for MVP. You wouldn't have thought about that in the first year of this league because offensively, Reggie Evans didn't kind of hurt you that way.
Don't you hate when you get stereotyped? This is what you are.
Yep.
His game, he can pass, he can drive, he's a winner, and more importantly, he's a great father. 4 kids.
4 kids. Yep.
Amazing, and his daughter has 5 major offers right now for college. Amaya, let's see her play in college.
That's right. Jarrett Jack.
That 3. 1 point lead for Trilogy. He's got the rock right now. High screen, Amir Johnson. Jack up and under with the shot. Tipped out by Reggie Evans. He collects the rebound. Here's Murph with 10 on the shot clock. The drive, the left hand, high off the glass, no. Reggie Evans, the follow, yes.
You see the screen that Reggie Evans puts on players? It makes you not want to go over the screen that hard. Makes you check your insurance.
Yeah. Oh,
James White puts that shoulder down and goes up and lays it in.
yeah, Kevin Murphy that time tried to entice the officials to call a charge right there, but I like the no call because it was contact by White inside, but no call, 2 inside.
1 point lead for Trilogy. First team to 25, we go to the half. Here's Reggie from the foul line. Too strong, got his own board though. Fakes it and drives and lays it in. Good move by Reggie.
Like a point guard. Did you see a little shimmy and he goes?
Yeah, James White kind of bailed him out too by trying to go for the steal, so that was an easy layup for Reggie Evans.
Reggie snags another board. Murphy for 3.
Transition. If you know your guy's going to get the majority of the defensive rebounds, just clear out and get outside of 3.
Here's Jarrett Jack now to Amir Johnson, who dunks it home. Reggie Evans calling for the travel, but no travel there. 2 point lead for the Monsters. It's the championship game. Here's Murph, he'll pull. Trilogy now with the rock. Jarrett Jack drives the baseline, reverses and lays it in.
Jimmy, doesn't he have kind of like an old man's game? He just kind of manipulates you, and then he still has that burst.
He does not overly athletic, but Jarrett Jack always, when he played in the NBA, figured out how to utilize his skill set. That time right there, Reggie Evans, talking about his skill set down low, that's his power.
That's his crab, go.
Reggie Evans with the deuce. The Monsters with a 2-point lead. It's the championship game here on CBS. Hey, this game break is brought to you by Burger King. We flash back to 2017, Trilogy, three-headed monsters. You know, Rashard Lewis, Mahmoud Abdul-Rauf were still for the Monsters. James White was still throwing up threes for Trilogy. And it was Trilogy who walked away with a 5-point victory and an undefeated season. Only team in the Big Three to ever do it. And since that day, you can take a look and see what these teams have done. Rashard Lewis, Mahmoud Abdul-Rauf still on the Monsters, and James White, the only member still from that Trilogy squad. Here's Amir Johnson now. Here's Flight White with the rock. Oh, good up and under move. Flips it off the board, missed it though. The drive by Murph, and he lays it in.
But that's a quickness right there. Murph that time cleared it. Knew he had an advantage, made a quick decision, Nancy. Crossover, able to get himself to inside for an easy two.
And this comes from the quick outlet pass, the rebound outlet.
And 10 points away from the half right now are the Monsters. Here's Rashard Lewis to Reggie Evans, and he lays it in.
When Reggie goes to the basket, he's a force of nature.
6-point lead. Inside to Amir Johnson, and he lays it in. Big boy basketball there.
Great pass.
Yeah, but then he got the switch again. I mean, that middle pick and roll allowed Amir Johnson to get himself in that big body inside on Murph.
Hey, don't you wonder what the conversations are going to be like in Phoenix this year with Jarrett Jack talking to Chris Paul and talking about what they need to do to win a championship? I mean, he's going to be a great assistant coach.
Yeah, and you know, for us too, which, you know, first year in the league, rookie of the year, but then will this be the last chance we get a chance to see him play because of that coaching position?
You know, I don't know. You know, a lot of these guys,
Gennaro
like,
Pargo is an assistant with Indiana.
But that's what, yeah.
you know, so depending on who you're working for, that says, you know, we still want you to play. Bring us back what you know, and
well, Jarrett, he wants it. I mean, I talked to him yesterday. First thing he said was that, you know, I want to continue to play. I love the game. So the success and the impact that he's had so far in this league, would hate to see him not participate, you know, playing again next year.
Rashard Lewis turns that one over. The Monsters with a 6-point lead. Again, first team to 25. We go to the half. Inside, Amir Johnson. 10 on the shot clock. Here's Jarrett Jack. Lost it. Murphy picks it up, dishes to Lewis, and he's fouled. Late call. Rashard Lewis will go to the line.
Wow, Reggie Evans got hit. He's usually the one inflicting pain on those screens, but Evans got laid out by Amir Johnson on that pick.
Oh, how about that? Steven Jackson wants to bring the Taco Bell, bring the fire. He didn't like that foul at all.
I actually think this is a great technical rule. One of the innovations that Ice Cube and Jeff Quanlins has come up with. They've done this with the 4-point, you know, 4-point shot. Now bring the fire, shooting the foul shots, which will equate to if it's a 4, a 3, a 2. I love it.
Here's Rashard Lewis. He's got 10 seconds. Drives, uses that size and banks it home. 21-13 the score. The Monsters 4 points away from the half. It's the championship game here on CBS.
He did, NBA adopted it. So the innovation part of it, and think about this, in the NBA, they even talked about, can you get a 4-point shot? Oh! No.
Oh, no.
Yeah, Jarrett Jack pulled up, kind of faded, and they say Reggie Evans stepped in his his space as he came down on Reggie Evans' foot.
Well, you see the rule in the NBA in regards to allowing the offensive player the space to come down. If you put that foot underneath, even if you don't do it on purpose, you still got to give it. See right there,
Yeah, you just got to get away from that shooter, put the hand up, and
how about this? Gary Payton hits the Taco Bell bring the fire. He didn't like the call, so he wants Jarrett Jack to go one-on-one with Reggie Evans.
that is so Gary Payton. He don't care. He just wants to win, and everything is at his disposal. That is actually a smart play. He's going to be coaching college basketball at Lincoln University in his hometown of Oakland. His assistant coach, CJ, who's on the bench, will be with him there. And we're wishing him all the best as he schedules every top 25 team. Build that program. Get that guarantee.
That's right.
Here's Jarrett Jack. Knocked away by Reggie Evans. And the Monsters will get the rock. And look at Gary Payton. He loves that. The glove. Known for the defense. Look at that. Good slap.
But he trusts Reggie Evans that he can guard a smaller, maybe quicker Jarrett Jack, and Evans came through it.
Oh, look at the up and under by Reggie Evans.
But
you talked about the offense.
That's what I'm saying, is that Reggie has been able to evolve his game over the course of the last 3 years to be more offensively effective.
James White, the corner three, no. Here's Rashard Lewis. This bucket is sent it to the half. Here's Murph pulling for three. Count it. We go to the half. The Monsters with a 13-point lead. And they're just 24 points away from their first championship.
These guys are locked in. They're defensive specialists, and they're playing Gary's style right now.
Well, to bring Reggie Evans, okay, it was where was Rashard Lewis and Mahmoud Abdul leading the way, but a different cast of characters, a better team with a chance to win a championship. We'll see what happens second half.
Game, the three-headed Monsters with a 13-point lead over Trilogy, looking for their first championship. Here's Gary Payton, mic'd up for
Hey,
sound.
just call it both ways. That's all. Just call it both ways. That's a good job on that day right there, Red. Come on. He cannot do that. He cannot keep doing this and holding. It cannot work. There you go, baby. There you go. There you go. Hey, hey, keep working.
Well, the three-headed Monsters, the only team in the Big Three to make the postseason every year. And Gary Payton and this squad, they're like the Susan Lucci of the Big Three. Always the bridesmaid, never the bride. But listen, they are basically just 24 points away from their first championship.
Wait, you watch daytime TV? You watch soaps? Who knew?
Hey, I used to.
Does Flavor Flav do that too?
No, but you know, listen, this is, again, a different team. Even though Rashard Lewis and Mahmoud are here, they're not the focal points so much to speak. You know what I mean? Kevin Murphy, the addition of him in this lineup, gives them a quicker, speedier offensive player, and hence they're going to play some defense like you talked about before because of Gary Payton.
And pretty much they're playing with three players, right? They're not using anybody else but the three that you've seen throughout the whole first half. You know, you got Murph. He's reading what is being given to him, and what makes that playoff screen roll is that Reggie rolls so hard to the basket, you can't step up and really contest his shot.
First team to 50 wins it. Jack, shot blocked by Rashard Lewis. As Gary Payton, he wants a review. He wants to challenge that possession.
Yeah, you can just see the defense that, Jimmy, we've all been talking about this. All of a sudden, you're taking really tough shots, and I think that ball is going to end up with the three-headed monsters if they look like it came off of his uniform.
How about that? The refs came together and he said, I had a better angle. No need to challenge. That should be three-headed monsters basketball.
Yeah, but also, you know, Jimmy and I talked about Briscoe's on the court for the first time. He didn't play in the first half, and he's the fourth man of the year.
Rashard Lewis over Briscoe for three.
And that play was drawn up, too. That was a nice little down-screen ball, comes in bounds. And Rashard Lewis took the ball out. Who's the most dangerous player? The guy taking the ball out of bounds.
Jarrett Jack right back at him.
They practiced that in practice the other day. Good call.
Rashard Lewis asking for it. He's got Jack on him. Back to Reggie. Spins. They're going to call a reach in.
Yeah, this big three has had so much innovation, and one of the things even for the coaches, I know Verizon's the presenting sponsor here for the playoffs, but you know, with Microsoft and you know, like Lisa and myself using the digital technology for coaching throughout the year. I used a Lucio app, you know, on my technology during the season. So you're seeing more coaching being used through technology now to help the players.
Reggie Evans knocks down the free throws. He's got 16. 31-15 to score. Here's Briscoe. Nice catch.
But you give him that shot. You give him that shot because when he gets going downhill, he creates all types of defensive problems.
And Briscoe and Reggie Evans collide. They call the foul on Reggie Evans. Let's see, he sets the screen.
I didn't really see Reggie Evans do anything wrong. He just did his ground.
Briscoe the three, no. Reg, the rebound. He's got the rock now. Drives, and he'll go back to the line. So here's Reggie Evans, the game-high scorer right now with 16.
Just smart. I mean, KYG, know your game, know what you do well. Reggie won't settle. If he's open, he'll take the jump shot, but more times than not, Nancy, he's going to put it on the deck and attack. Man.
Okay, Briscoe. Amir Johnson shot blocked. No one can pick up the basketball.
Get out of here!
Rashard Lewis had it, lost it. Got bodies everywhere.
Yeah, that ball was so slick. You know, you just want him to pick it up, but once you start sweating on the basketball, you know, it's just hard to grasp.
It goes to Trilogy.
We need another category, like best smile in a game goes to Reggie Evans. While he's just being a Terminator with you, he's not going to smile.
Jack for three. And all of a sudden, Trilogy come knocking at the door here. Lead is just 11. Again, first team to 50 wins it. It is the Big 3 Championship. Trilogy, three-headed monsters.
Dribble Nancy to get to a spot, and when he's not scoring the ball, as you see, he's setting up his teammates for success.
How about Kevin Murphy?
Okay. I just looked at my clock, and that, I believe, took like 3 seconds. From the top. Straight line drive, no help defense. Wow.
Murph Euro stepping to the rack. And it is the Monsters with a 13-point lead, and now just 17 points away from their first Big 3 championship.
You know, they say, how do you stop a run? You score. That's exactly what the three-headed monsters did, because Trilogy was playing well. And, you know, they come off that three-pointer by Jarrett Jack, and now you're seeing momentum change.
Hey, next Saturday on
First game in week 2, Trilogy wins this game between three-headed monsters 50-43. Right now, Trilogy is stuck on 20 points. To your point, Nancy, defense, you said it at the top. How is three-headed monsters going to complete this task of winning the championship? Is on the defensive end.
Well, you have two primary scorers. You have Jack and Briscoe. Briscoe only has 2 points. And the guy that really needs to get involved, and he's sitting on the bench right now, is James White.
Yep.
You know, you gotta have his floor-stretching three-point ability, but you just cannot have Amir Johnson not on the floor because of the physicality of Reggie Evans.
Here's Jack working on Reggie Evans. Shakes. Kicks it to Briscoe. Thought about the three, now pulls it. Got it.
What a luxury to have a guy like Reggie Evans who makes Jarrett Jack kick the ball out because he can't get by him or didn't get by him.
Here's Rashard Lewis working on Jack. Has it ripped.
Yeah, it was a foul right there. The
Briscoe
didn't call it. Rashard Lewis not too happy about not getting that call.
Murphy. Up and under. Too strong. Briscoe looks at the shot clock, drives, and they're reaching by Rashard Lewis.
And that's where he shines. He's so good going downhill, getting to the rim. He can shoot right-handed, left-handed.
Reggie Evans, the high scorer, he's got 16. Murphy's got 10. Rashard Lewis with 7 for the Monsters. Here's Isaiah Briscoe, second leading scorer on Trilogy. Been averaging about 13 a game.
Trilogy 25, three-headed monsters.
Now they've cut the lead to single digits. Reggie Evans working on Amir Johnson. Has it knocked away. Jarrett Jack picks it up. Jack, the drive, left hand, yes! That lead is now 6.
6 points.
Start getting a little tight, right? Playing loose.
Right.
Here's Murph. Stolen by Amir Johnson. He lays it in.
Yo, listen, how quickly it can change. We talked about defense for three-headed monsters. Trilogy able to put back-to-back defensive possessions together. Hence, now you're able to score the ball, cut to this lead, only down 4 right now for Trilogy.
Well, I love the fact that Briscoe now has 7 points. He didn't play in the first half, and he has to score. He has to be a factor. And they're doing it with active hands and great understanding defensively.
4-point lead for the Monsters, where this lead was blown as many as 14-13. And look at this. Murph has it stolen there by Amir Johnson, and he lays it in.
Defense, again, I mean, that'll give you an opportunity to get back in. Then a smart play by Johnson to kind of corral that ball and take it right back up. And you got reactions from their squad. And Steven Jackson, he said that's what, I can't say what he wanted to, what he really said on TV.
You can't say it when he's not on TV.
Well, you're right. So you saw, but, you know, the little adjustment. Let's see how Gary Payton makes the adjustments now to this run that Trilogy has made.
These are 2 really good coaches. Steven Jackson was an amazing player, and he has just kind of transferred that right to the first seat on the bench. We know Gary has been doing this for a while now.
You didn't call that one on Briscoe.
Yeah, a little too much contact up top with Briscoe.
Rashard Lewis will inbound, up 4.
And it's going to get more physical.
Oh, yeah.
Until this thing
Briscoe.
Do this. You never did this, Jimmy.
Not at all.
I
ever.
might have once or twice in my career. The little up and under, but you
did that little chicken wing.
Oh,
no,
yeah.
no.
I don't know what
Jim
you're
never
talking
did
about.
that.
I never did that.
Jim used his shoulders. These broad shoulders of his. Reggie Evans, the board throws it away. Jarrett Jack makes it home.
And that's a tough play because Reggie hustles. And if you're going to throw that ball in, throw it back towards half court.
Yes, you
Not in the middle of the court.
2-point lead now for the Monsters.
see the ball pressure on Murphy right now by Briscoe has been the difference in this half.
Jarrett Jack can tie it or take the lead. Drive. No look dime to Amir Johnson.
Man, look at the hustle.
With one other shot clock.
Took too long.
Short. Amir Johnson to follow.
And that whole offensive possession was Amir Johnson. Inside, keeping the ball alive, and then now being able to score inside.
Well, you know, offense is multiple options, actions, and defense is multiple efforts, and that's exactly what Amir gave them.
13-0 run by Trilogy to tie this thing up. Here's Briscoe now. To Jarrett Jack. The drive. To Johnson. He misses.
Oh, they need to take a look at that.
What did the official?
He said he was
Double dribble.
double dribble. They need to take a look at that. This game is too important right now for the officials not to review this.
Look at Steven Jackson. They're just saying, hey, look, Jarrett, they felt like Jarrett Jack got fouled. Reggie saying, how did I double dribble?
Well, if I'm either the coaches, this game is physical. I'm trying to get into the penalty. Because like we talked about before, Nancy, get into the penalty, make that shot, now you retain possession. And again, it's another form of strategy you want to have here in the Big Three, is to get yourself into the penalty situation. Because it's a physical game. And I think the officials are going to tighten it up right now and maybe call it a little bit closer than what we've seen thus far.
Well, listen, you know how much I love boxing. It's like the three-headed monsters came out with headshots. Tried to take them out early, but all of a sudden, Trilogy said, we're going to invest in the body. And they have just been delivering body blows here, and now we're all tied up.
You know what's really hard as a coach, and I give Steven Jackson credit. He took James White out of the game, and Briscoe has played every second of the second half. And that's why, because of his defense, you're seeing a different team.
Jarrett Jack in the lane gives Trilogy the lead. Their first lead up to 35-33. First team to 50 wins it.
Again, you want to make sure you're using your timeouts because for three-headed monsters, they've only played 3 players. So these foul shots are going to mean something. Reggie, don't just walk up to the line, get your breath.
Free throws critical. Reggie misses that one. 2-point lead here for Trilogy. Again, first team to 50 wins it. You got to win by 2. This is for the championship. Inside, good dime, Amir Johnson.
It's so tough to guard the pick and roll in 3-on-3 basketball because you don't have the weak side, that rotation part. So if Amir Johnson sets the screen the way he's supposed to, he's either going to have a roll and be open, or he's going to have a mismatch and be able to take advantage of it. And that time, the big body inside is able to get open, pick up the foul, and I get to the free throw line.
And it's always about, you know, KYP, you talked about that, know your personnel. You have to be able to match up, and the Monsters can't do it right now.
Trilogy with a 4-point lead. thanks to Amir Johnson. You're watching the Big 3 Championship presented by Verizon. As they play for the Big 3 Championship. First team to 50 wins it. You got to win by 2, and it's Trilogy. 4-point lead. And Rashard Lewis and Isaiah Briscoe get tangled up.
I'd run that play again.
Oh, yeah. By allowing, Rashard to set that screen, you're going to get a switch.
Yep, and you just straight roll right to the front of the rim.
Yep.
Now it's Reggie Evans and Amir Johnson. Reggie, the drive, blocked. Andy Travers.
Yeah, great defense that time by Amir Johnson. Straight up and down, Reggie wants to get to his right hand. And Amir using his size right here. Watch, just straight up in the air. Good defense.
Great defense, absolutely.
Here's Jarrett Jack now.
See, that was smart, little bump switch by Reggie.
Tried to draw a foul on Reggie Evans. Here's Murph. To Rashard Lewis. He'll pull it. Knocks it down. 2-point lead for Trilogy.
Rashard's been doing that for years.
Long time.
Any on you?
A lot.
NBA champion.
He's unbelievable.
Yeah. Won it with the Miami Heat. Here's Briscoe. Step back. Missed it badly. Murph. The follow. Yes.
And smart play. Recognition again. Didn't hit the rim. Murph immediately took it right back up.
And we are tied again. First team to 50 wins it. You got to win by 2.
Yeah, Brian, I was surprised when there was such a big lead because these two teams are just beautifully matched up with each other.
Jack, the kick out. Briscoe, no, didn't get it off. Shot clock violation.
I'm telling you, those little possessions like that, down late situation, you got to be able to take advantage of it when the game is in balance, going back and forth. You can't have a shot clock violation.
You're absolutely right. And this is a set play again.
Rashard Lewis. And now the captain trying to take him home. 2-point lead for the Monsters.
Boy, he is so good. He's got his family here. He's enjoyed working out, playing for a championship, but it's something special to have the kids.
That's short. It's Sweet Lou with the rebound. Here's Murph. Looking into Lewis.
It is, I'm telling you, physical. And these guys want it. I mean, you can tell this in their body language, how they're playing. Again, you said it, it's a simple play, it's a post-up. You just allow Rashard Lewis to use his size to shoot right over the top of his opponent.
Yeah, his size, his footwork, his balance, understanding the leverage game when you're that close to the rim.
Well, Steven Jackson didn't like the call. He wants to implement the Taco Bell, bring the fire. So he wants Rashard Lewis to go one-on-one against Isaiah Briscoe. These two have been talking to each other all game long.
Makes sense, right?
Well, they're probably going, do you like the hard shell taco? Do you like the soft taco? What is it that you like?
Right, because I'm going to give it to you. Here we go. Sweet Lou's got 10 seconds. Briscoe bodies him. And comes up with the defensive stop.
Well, that time, that's where Briscoe had the advantage. He was able to get up underneath Rashard and not allow him to get by him.
The officials should not have allowed him to have his foot above the three-point line. They have to be below it. And that's why he got up underneath him.
Right. Jack explodes to the rim and lays it in. Tied up at 39. Again, first team to 50 wins it. You got to win by 2.
And interesting, Steven Jackson took Briscoe out and put James White back in the game, probably for defensive purposes. Let's see how long he stays with that combination of having Briscoe back on the bench.
Yeah, that is that's a gutsy move right there.
Yeah.
And Jarrett Jack uses his body, throws it into Rashard Lewis, gets the bucket. Tied up at 39.
This game is about skill and will. Who has the will to want to win this game?
Here's James White with 2 on the shot clock. Blocked by Rashard Lewis, and it's a shot clock violation.
It is so important that when somebody is taking a shot, whether it's blocked or it slips out of their hand, the weak side guy has got to go to the rim to be that protector if there's a turnover or an air ball.
They get it to Reggie Evans. Back to Rashard Lewis. Thought about the 3. He'll pull from 15. Evans tracks it down. A new shot clock. Here's Lou. To Murph. Drives. High off the glass. Rolls off. Evans the follow and lays it in.
Somebody's going to be tired and sore. They came in the weight room the day after they played the semifinals. They were all sore.
Yeah. But it'd be worth it once you get that championship trophy so you can deal with that fatigue and soreness.
Jack, step back 3. Amir Johnson had it, lost it. James White has it knocked away. Here's Jack. Flight White shoots an air ball.
That's just a tough thing. You haven't played in a while. You want to get a shot up. You're a professional shooter. This is the play before when Reggie just
cleans it up.
Yeah.
That's it. But you talked about going to the front of the rim. He does it better than anybody when the shot goes up.
On air.
To put himself in a position to get those offensive rebounds.
Steven Jackson calls a timeout. His Trilogy squad down 2. It's the Big 3 Championship presented by Verizon here on CBS. Here's Jarrett Jack, mic'd up. Jarrett Jack, 20 points for Trilogy. He's their leading scorer. He's their captain. And right now, his squad down 2. First team to 50 wins it. You got to win by 2. 3-headed monsters with the ball in the lead. Here's Kevin Murphy. They're looking into Rashard Lewis. He has it. Turns, squares, misses the jumper. Jack calling for the screen. Turns the corner, takes the contact, and he'll go to the line.
Late whistle, but correct call. I thought the baseline official was going to pick up that, but it was the outside official that made the right call.
You know, the thing that Jarrett Jack does, which is so well, first of all, you have Amir coming up the screen, and he goes, no, go away. I want you to come, James White, because now I can have that switch that I want. And that's just brilliant basketball.
Tied at 41. First team to 50 win, but you got to win by 2 here in the Big 3. This is for the championship. Jarrett Jack in his bag. Hangs and floats it in.
Yeah, but listen, Murph played good defense.
Yes,
but as we know, great defense better hope. That time, Jarrett Jack able to get in his bag and shoot that little jump hook right there on the baseline.
Here's Murph. Nearly turned it over. Reggie now with 3. And draws the foul.
Okay, so both teams now are in the bonus. So you make this, you start getting it back. This right here is just beautiful basketball. He understands where he wants to get. That's a nice little play.
Reggie Evans gets the free throw. We're tied again at 43.
Love this rule.
But they're in the bonus, so they get the rock again. Here's Murph. Lost it. Got it back. Loses it again.
See, sometimes you just got to pull it back out, reset the offense. That time, Murph doing a little bit too much with the pill, ultimately ended up turning it over. A great defense by Mirren.
And Jarrett Jack draws the foul.
It's just smart. Those little subtle moves, those pump fakes, you draw the contact, you hit the foul shot, you get it back. You know, you talked about where Murph, he was just a little ahead of himself, and the minute Jack sees you reach in, he's coming up under your arm. They must be hungry.
Well, you know, he was telling the officials that he had the challenge. He could even still had one, and that's what he was trying to tell him.
So Gary Payton is going to bring the Taco Bell, bring the fire. Jarrett Jack going one-on-one with Kevin Murphy. How about this? You got both squads standing up.
Oh, yeah.
They know this is for the championship here. Here's Jack. Drive. Oh, what a fake! Oh, my!
You know what I used to tell people? You go for this is classic right here. So you get down, get him up in the air, and say, stay down, the Air Force don't want you. you went flying by.
Remember we just talked about the pump fake?
Yep.
You know, everybody thinks it's obsolete.
No,
it's
no.
live and well in the Big Three. He brought the fire, he brought the pump fake, he brought everything.
And the lead. Jack turns the corner. The kick out to James White. He drives, pulls, got it. And Trilogy now 3 points away from victory.
And how smart was that play by James White, Nancy? He shot an air ball last time from 3. That time he churned it down and got himself a better shot 15 feet.
That's a veteran who does that when the game's on the line.
Murph, the 3-no. Reggie Evans kicks it right back out. Murph again. Too strong. This time Amir Johnson clears it. They can win it. And you go to your money man, Jarrett Jack, for the win and the championship. Too strong. Rashard Lewis blocked. With 2 on the shot clock, the jump hook is good. 2-point lead. Jarrett Jack and Trilogy can win it with a 3. Here's Jack.
You don't want to foul.
Drives. High off the glass, no. Reggie Evans now. Fades. He misses. James Flight White. Jack pulls up. Short.
These guys are exhausted.
Yeah.
Here's Murphy. And again, Trilogy with it. And they'll set it up. 1-on-1. Jarrett Jack. And they say it was a kick by Rashard Lewis.
And these guys are tired.
Oh my gosh, they're exhausted.
But they got to dig a little deeper right here, even through the fatigue, and figure out a way how to finish off this game. Walk away with a championship.
Here's Jarrett Jack. A 3 will win it. Gets the screen. Crosses over. He's going to pull it. And Rashard Lewis claims the board. Backs down James White. In the lane. Little jump hook. No. Reggie Evans. The follow. No. Jarrett Jack. The 3. Got it. And the win. Trilogy, your 2021 Big 3 champion.
Nancy, we talked about other players stepping up. And I highlighted James White. But I think it was the play by Amir Johnson in the second half, particularly offensive rebound, keep possessions alive, setting great screens. So yes, Jarrett Jack made the shot. Isaiah Briscoe had the points. But I think the play by Amir Johnson, just the little things he was able to do in the second half, helps.
Trilogy beats the three-headed Monsters 50-45. They win their second Big 3 championship. For the presentation of the Julius Erving Championship Trophy, let's go to John Salley at center court.
All right, here we go, Ice Cube. Congratulations, season 4 successful. Great win. And we got the commissioner here, Clyde the Glide Drexler, to promote the Dr. Dre Trophy.
Let me tell you something, Sally. Yeah. The best looking trophy in all of sports, the Big 3, Dr. J, Julius Erving Championship Trophy to Team Trilogy for a hard-fought victory. Here you go, guys.
I'm coming to get it. I'm coming to get it.
All right, good. Hey, Jarrett Jack, you smiling? I saw you crying a few seconds ago.
A little bit.
A little bit of cry.
Get a little emotional. Man, to be honest, man, this is crazy. My first time hitting the game winner in front of my son, so I'm happy for him to be part of it. You know what I'm saying? Our coach stuck with us through and through every week. We had a hell of a group, man. I just want to shout out these guys, our teammates. And I'm going to say it like this, man. Kevin Murphy is a hell of a player. I don't know what they're doing overseas in the NBA, man. Somebody get that boy a job. A high-paying one, too.
Right? He got a job right here, the Big 3. Steven.
Hey, man, shout out to Cube, shout out to Jeff, shout out to the whole Big 3 League. Shout out to everybody here in the Bahamas. Thank y'all for coming out. Hey, Big 3, this was our best year by far. And it goes a lot to everybody that came out and support us. Next year is going to be even greater, but we appreciate our support. Thank you, Cube. Thank you, Jeff. Thanks, everybody involved, man. We appreciate it.
Everybody got it. All right. Okay, where is he? What? Did I see you shoot an air ball just to get us nervous?
That slipped out my hand. Don't let that worry you.
That was the air ball. It was so bad, Steven looked at me.
Hey, look though. I got 2 of them things, so I'm not even tripping.
Okay, Q, this was successful. We're here in the beautiful Bahamas. You did an unbelievable job. Look at this.
Man, it's amazing. Thank you to the Bahamas, the Atlantis, Paradise Island. Thank you to everybody in the Big 3, Jeff Quantinus, this man right here, Chris Hannon. Thank you. Thank you. Congratulations to Trilogy. Hey, 2-time champions. Thank you. CBS, thank you so much.
You gotta back up, man. You gotta back up, bro.
Yes.
Said meet us at the Dragon, huh?
Meet us at the Dragon.
All right. Steve, you holding on real tight. I think you wore that just to match it.
Well, one thing about it, I'm the first coach to play and coach in the Big 3 Championship. but I'm glad I was able to win one. Hey, shout out to my team. I got a great group of guys, a great group of professionals. Shout out to Gary Payton and the Three-Headed Monsters, a great team. But I knew when I did the draft that I wanted some professionals. I wanted guys that wanted to play the game and that love the game. And that showed tonight.
All right, so, hey, you know, you played a great, well, you really supported everyone really well today. And I'm glad it's all a team win. Don't sit around and feel any kind of way about it.
No question. I'm here to be the best team that I can be. And, you know, whenever, you know, that's the thing about professional basketball. When you wait on your moment, you know, you get your shot. And I'm just glad we came on top. You know, shout out to Steven Jackson, shout out Ice Cube, my teammates. We came out on top, and that's all that matters.
Big fella, you had to stay in the whole game.
Man, all glory to God. I just want to thank, you know, the Big Three, the sponsors, the fans, everybody. They treated my family here so well, and show you on the top, we won the championship, and this just was a blessing being here, man. Glory to God.
All right. Well, that's it from the court. Back to you guys.
All right, John Sally, thank you very much. Hey, shout out to Gary Payton and Three-Headed Monsters. Once again, they get here and come up a little bit short.
I mean, but they had momentum, had the lead. But things changed when Isaiah Briscoe came in the game, more dynamic, you know, backcourt, an effort for Trilogy. Again, I say Amir Johnson, his play, I thought really signified how hard this team really worked, was able to knock it off and win the championship again.
And how about Jarrett Jack? You said, listen, he's going to have to lead this team. Has 29, Nancy, to lead Trilogy.
And look, he did this all season long. He did it to my team. He did it to every team. I'm really proud of the teams that went through this season. It was a heck of a year. Congratulations to Trilogy, but congrats to Cube for what he's done for all of us.
To fight through COVID and everything, and then to do it here in the Bahamas, that is just amazing. Congratulations to Trilogy and Steven Jackson, their head coach. Well, for Nancy Lieberman, Jim Jackson, John Sally, and our entire crew, especially Lisa Byington as well. Don't forget, CBS, 846 Films, P&G, back-to-back editions of 48 Hours. I'm Brian Custer. This has been a presentation of CBS Sports in association with the Big Three.